the most important thing, what I think we've done really well at ArcLight, is the emotional component of who are these characters, and getting to know them in a way that they become actually living, breathing characters, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to hear their voices. So for instance, with Noah Novak, who's Solace, I hear his voice. And it's amazing to create a character and then
Kind of like in a crazy way.
Crazy way.
You know what this character
is going to say.
Sound like, yeah.
Right. And then getting to a point where not only I hear this internal dialogue from this character, but the team understands it. Just as much as I can sit there when we're crafting our stories and I'd be like, no, Tremor could say this, or Braxton would do this. And it feels like you have a new friend or a new family member. And I think that's something that's been really big for us. And, at its core, it's just understanding the psychology of the identity about the character. And I think we've done really good about that. And as Ed was talking before, it's going beyond what we typically think of branding. And what Ed has taught me about branding is telling a story with truths. Not only truth, but universal truths. And he was talking about, the character strengths. And when we look at positive psychology, for instance, character strengths are huge. And
Can you tell everybody that you are a...
therapist, yeah,
Yes.
if you haven't picked up. By now.
That's important enough.
That's important enough, yes. So, yes, I'm obsessed with psychology. I'm a therapist that specializes in mental health and addictions. And I think we've done a really great job, like I said, just exploring these universal narratives of character strengths. Like I said, that we found through, just pushing, we started with this whole believe in, and now we've just cut down the fat a little bit and just got the lean meat of just the one word, which is I am hope, I am grace, I am about second chances, I am about perseverance, whoever those narratives are. And to me, those are things that you have an emotional connection with, because those are principles, morals, and values. And that's what separates us, I think, in the animal kingdom from different type of animals, is principles, values, and morals. And it allows us to understand those messages, those narratives, right? And they can be unchangeable. And I think we've done a great job with that. And I think that more storytelling is getting there, but the real stories that make a lasting impact is when I feel emotionally invested in a character or a story, that I'm going to come back to it and dissect it from a psychological standpoint, but then also from an emotional standpoint, but just because I just want to know more of it. And then when I do, I get something that's brand new, a new different message with it. And I think that's the beauty aspect of allowing narratives to be flourished to their greatness or without limitations. And I think that's what we've done really well at ArcLight, is allowing ourselves to grow those narratives and not be limited by what is politically correct or, oh, we can't do this. It's being able to show all aspects of perspectives and not being tied into a box.
And being patient.
And also being patient.
Oh my God. Like, people, what I really want people to understand, it takes time to develop an intellectual property. You can't rush it. You really have to just you really have to take your damn time. I'm gonna say it like that because I want you to get the realness of it. You really have to take. How long was Solace in development? Like a year?
Year and a half.
Yeah, because he wasn't ready when he first came out. It was still. I kept sending you back to the drawing board. Like, nope. This is not ready. Nope, go at it again. Do it again. And then one day, it just all came together and it made sense. And even still at that, when that day came, there was still some more work to be done.
Right.
You know, we still had to explore. We still had to get to know this character. Who the heck is Noah Novak? And I think one of the things we also are able to do is I remember saying, you know, these characters aren't always going to live in a team setting.
Nope.
So make sure that when you develop them, they're able to operate and function in their own little worlds.
Right.
Like, what does that look like outside of that team setting? And that's important because you have to be able to tell stories with these characters.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but we've, you know, have done to people that we've respected in the industry and, you know, basically said, what is your feedback, right? We had someone who was a well-known storyteller and storyboard artist from Disney. You know, we pitched things and he gave us some feedback and we grew from it. And I think growth really comes from letting go of our ego and our pride and allowing ourselves to be creatively expressed through, you know, allowing ourselves, like you said, being patient. And a lot of us struggle with that, or just with any type of minor feedback. But if we're going to allow the industry to change and we're going to be the new narrative, we need to come to a place where if people are giving us critiques or feedback, then they're showing that there is some type of investment behind our brand or identity. Because in reality, people won't take the time to give you that. And you need to surround yourself with individuals that are a little bit further along, just like we try to surround ourselves with individuals that are further along. That's the only way that you can have this organic flow of going forward.